Molweni and welcome to my channel. My name is Zizo Sifuba. On this channel, we talk about personal finances, covering topics like retirement planning, insurance, and financial wellness in general for South Africans. My goal is to make financial education simple, practical, and easy to understand. If that interests you, please consider subscribing. Please remember that anything shared here is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Now let's get into today's episode.
Retirement is not for the faint-hearted, or as my colleague puts it, it's not for sissies. For some people, the word retirement brings excitement, freedom, travel, time with family, all the good things. But for most South Africans, it brings something else entirely. Fear that they haven't saved enough, fear that they started too late, fear that they just don't know where to begin. Well, let's change that today as I start this 4-part series where I help you plan for your own retirement, because retirement is for those who choose to plan. If you're going into retirement now without a plan and you think it's going to be smooth sailing, it's either you're very strong or you are a bit delulu. You might need a combination of those two. Let's begin with the South African reality. So only 6% of South Africans are on track to retire comfortably. 64% of us have no retirement fund whatsoever. And of the 5.2 million South Africans aged 60 and above, 73% are surviving on government social grants, which currently pays just over 2,000 rands a month. And since the two-pot retirement system launched in September 2024, over 1 million South Africans have already dipped into their savings pot, many more than once. Our personal savings rate has actually gone negative. We are spending more than we earn. This is the reality, and that is why I want to go through these numbers and actually help you plan for your own future. So when should you start? Here's something that will either haunt you or excite you depending on where you are right now. Let's make an example of 3 South Africans. All 3 want to retire comfortably at age 65. So person 1 starts at age 25 and puts away 500 rands a month. By age 65, at an average of 8% return, they have approximately 1.7 million. Person 2 waits until age 35 and saves 750 rands a month, 50% more every month than person 1, and ends up with just below 1 million rands. Person 3 waits until 45, saves 1,250 rands a month, and ends up with just below 500,000. Now, the person who started earliest with the smallest amount actually wins. This is the power of money. So person who started at age 25 with 500 rands a month ends up with nearly 4 times more than the person who starts at 45 with 1,250 rands a month. So less money, more time, but the outcome is actually bigger. That is how compound interest works. Before you say, Haibo, ayonyani, how does this thing work? This is compound interest. What it does is you earn a return on your savings. Then the next year you earn a return on that return too. And the year after that, the same thing happens again and again and again. It might sound very small at the beginning, but then it sounds unbelievable at the end. But that is the power of compounding. You've put away just 240,000 rands over a period of 40 years. And then the extra 1.5 million, that was your money making money for you. That's just how compound interest works. And you need time though to see what it can do for you. What do you need to do for time to actually work for you? Here's something that happens to most South Africans. We have this habit of raiding our own retirement savings. According to 10x Investments, 56% of South Africans who change their jobs actually cash out of their retirement funds. And since the two-pot system, over 1 million South Africans have already withdrawn from their savings pots. I understand why. Life is expensive, emergencies are real, But here's what nobody tells you. When you cash out 50,000 rands today, you don't just lose that 50,000 rands. At an 8% growth over 25 years, that 50,000 rands would have become 340,000 rands. Now, this is how we lose from compound interest. We disinvest. So what you need to do is to stay invested. Start now, then stay invested. I've given you the background, I've given you the numbers, I've shown you what other South Africans are doing. You might want to know what it is you need to do to actually plan for your retirement. I'm going to give you 5 pillars of a solid plan. These are what we're going to discuss over the next few episodes. The first one, which will be episode 2, is know your number. You have to know your number. By your number, I mean how much you will need at retirement. How much income are you going to need? So I'm going to show you how to calculate that in the next episode. Pillar 2 is the right vehicle. You might know your number, which is now your target, but where do I actually invest? These are the things we're going to talk about, where I'm going to be giving you the best vehicles for saving for retirement. Then pillar 3 is invest, don't save. We're going to be talking about inflation and how it affects your money. And then I'm going to be telling you the difference between investing and actually saving and why it is important for you to know this. Pillar number 4 is protect yourself. Life, disability, dread, disease, these things happen and they can come and erode everything you have been doing. You might be doing everything right, but then if one of these happen to you, they could come and undo everything you have done. And lastly, we will talk about preserving. So this is just staying invested. Just stay on the course. Do not be disrupted by things. Do not come and withdraw. We're going to be discussing those over the next few episodes. When is the right time to actually start? Ideally in your 20s, but I understand this is South Africa. Unemployment rate is high. We do not earn enough. I understand all those things, but ideally you should be starting in your 20s if you want to be part of that 6% that can retire comfortably. You want to start and to not stop. So it's very important that if you're in your 20s right now, don't be thinking, I'm too young to be thinking about retirement. No, you need to be planning for it now, not when retirement is close. So what's coming up next? I've already mentioned we will be talking about knowing your number. We will discuss how to get to that number. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Zizo Sifuba. I'm a registered financial advisor, and I hope you really enjoyed this. And if you think this is something that you'd like to hear more about, please subscribe. Leave me a comment if you have questions. I will be dropping the next episode next week. Thank you. Bye.